A small fire can spread rapidly in an office building, destroying property and life. If a fire does break out at your workplace, your job and your life could be at risk. Many businesses don't recover from fire damage and cease operations as a result. Fires do occur in office buildings, and there is the risk of a high loss of life. It is a potentially fatal mistake to be complacent about fire and evacuation safety. This program covers fire prevention, fire risk assessment, fire detection, facing the fire, extinguishing the fire, fire marshals, and evacuation. There are many things you can do to reduce the risk of fire starting or spreading easily in your office. Don't place cups on or near computers and other electrical equipment. Liquid can spill into them, causing electrical faults, which can spark a fire. Discard damaged power leads and plugs. When contractors carry out work in your office, they should be advised of your fire safety requirements. Switch off and disconnect electrical appliances that seem to be faulty. They must be reported and repaired or replaced. Keep heaters away from chemicals, paper, and anything else that might ignite. Don't place heaters too close to walls or in confined areas where they might overheat. Keep your office as tidy as possible. Excess paper and other rubbish can pose a fire hazard. Empty bins regularly. Turn off electrical appliances at the end of the day. If you are required to leave your computer on, turn off the monitor. A fire risk assessment will help make your office building a safer place. To conduct a risk assessment, you need to identify the hazards, assess the risks, and control the risks. Hazard identification requires a site and plan inspection and analysis of any previous fire incidents. Identify equipment and materials that can start a fire or promote its spread. When hazards are identified, assess how likely they are to cause harm. For example, fire exits that are not in good working order or are blocked by rubbish or storage items could prevent the safe evacuation of personnel. Are an adequate number of suitable fire extinguishers provided, and are they easily accessible? When hazards have been identified and assessed, implement risk control measures. Where possible, eliminate hazards. For example, move and clean up storage items that are blocking fire extinguishers, fire alarms, or exit paths. Ensure exits, manual alarms, and fire extinguishers have clear signs. If it is not possible to eliminate the risk, take action to reduce the risk. Training of personnel in safe work practices, firefighting and evacuation procedures will reduce the risk of fires starting or causing harm. Place fire action plans and procedures where they can be easily seen by personnel. Fire alarms and extinguishers should be tested and checked regularly by a competent person to ensure they are working. Security procedures and measures to prevent the threat of arson should be in place and understood by personnel. When conducting a fire risk assessment, always record and keep the results and observations. Review the fire risk assessment findings on a regular basis and conduct further risk assessments periodically. Early detection of fire saves lives and property. Modern office buildings include important fire detection features. Sprinklers are automatically activated by heat. Heat detectors, smoke alarms and manual alarms may be linked to a fire alarm indicator panel. When fire sensors or manual alarms activate, the floor and room location where the alert originated is indicated on the panel. The fire alert sounds, and in most cases the fire brigade is automatically notified. If your building has a security room, alarms can also be monitored there. Some buildings have an emergency warning system that will sound the alert and evacuation tones. Emergency warning systems can be used to make an announcement over public address speakers. If you are confronted by fire, don't panic. If possible, keep the fire isolated by closing doors and windows. Go to the nearest fire alarm, break the cover, and push the alarm button. Report the fire to the telephone switchboard operator or call the fire brigade directly. Report your name, address, and the location of the fire. To make sure that the fire brigade or switchboard know your location, repeat the fire details. In an office building, smoke and fumes are as dangerous as the fire itself. If the air is smoky, stoop low to the ground or crawl during an evacuation. Because smoke and fumes usually rise, the air near the floor will be clearer. Before opening a door, feel it with the back of your hand. Check the door handle carefully, as it may be very hot. If the door is hot, try another exit, as there may be a fire on the other side. If your clothes catch fire, get clear, drop to the ground, and roll. This will keep the flames away from your face and smother the fire. Burning clothes can also be smothered with a rug, a blanket or coat, or doused with water. Find and memorize the locations of fire extinguishers and fire exits in your office. Fire hoses should only be used by properly trained personnel and the fire brigade. Most small fires can be put out with a fire extinguisher. However, minor outbreaks can spread very quickly. Don't endanger yourself when trying to put out a fire. Don't attempt to put out a fire that is getting out of control. Evacuate if you are at risk. If it is safe and feasible for you to put out the fire, you must choose the right type of extinguisher for the job. Later model extinguishers display picture labels which indicate the types of fires for which they are suitable. Fire extinguishers are red and are color-coded with a panel that indicates the type of substance they contain. Water extinguishers are all red in color and are for use on wood, paper, and rubbish fires. Do not use water extinguishers on fires with electricity present, as you may be electrocuted. They must also not be used on liquid or gas fires. Foam extinguishers are color-coded with a cream panel and are ideal for smothering flammable liquids such as oil and petrol. They can also be used on standard combustibles like paper. These extinguishers cannot be used on gas, electrical, or cooking fires involving oils or fats. Dry chemical powder extinguishers are color-coded with a blue panel and can be used on most fires, including electrical fires. Some dry chemical powder extinguishers should not be used on cooking fires involving fats and oil. Carbon dioxide extinguishers are color-coded with a black panel and can be used on most types of fire, including electrical fires. They should not be used on flammable gas fires and can only be used on standard combustible fires if the fire is small. If the fire extinguisher you choose has a gauge, check that it is full. Approach the fire with care. You should be accompanied and ensure that you have a clear exit behind you. Follow the pass code to ensure you use the extinguisher correctly. Pull the pin on the handle to ready the extinguisher for use. Aim the extinguisher nozzle at the base of the flames. Squeeze the trigger while holding the extinguisher upright. Sweep the nozzle from side to side, covering the area with the extinguishing agent. A fire extinguisher only discharges for a short time. If the fire does not extinguish quickly, be prepared to evacuate. Every building should have designated fire marshals or wardens who will assist during fire alerts. Marshals should be easily identifiable by wearing items such as high-visibility vests, armbands, or hard hats. Fire marshals know what to do during a fire alert, and you should follow their directions. Your building may have fire marshals who perform specific roles. The Chief Fire Marshal will be notified whenever there is a fire alert. During a fire alert, the Chief Marshal will contact affected marshals and instruct them on the action to be taken. Fire marshals are responsible for ensuring that everyone has left a particular area. Marshals may stand at exit points to direct people to leave in an orderly manner or to block dangerous exit points. Keep an up-to-date list of the names and work locations of people with disabilities and health concerns. For example, people with impaired vision, heart ailments, or severe hearing impairment may need assistance to evacuate. A person should be assigned to assist anyone with restricted mobility. Your building may have lifts designated for use by the fire brigade. Only fire authority personnel can permit people to evacuate via these lifts in an emergency. All personnel must be familiar with their building evacuation procedure. Everyone must know the location of fire exits and manual alarms. When an alarm sounds or an evacuation announcement is made, turn off electrical equipment if it is safe to do so. Calmly move to your designated safe assembly area. Close windows and doors to restrict the spread of smoke and fire if safe to do so. Do not lock doors. Do not use the lift. Exit via the stairs. Stay close to the handrail. This allows fire officers to pass. Keep talk to a minimum. When you exit the building, go straight to the designated safe assembly area. Do not re-enter the building until the fire brigade has confirmed it is safe to do so. An office fire can cause devastation on a large scale. In severe cases, it can cause multiple injuries, and there is the potential for a large loss of life. A few simple precautions can reduce the risk of a fire starting or spreading easily in your office environment. If faced with fire, Do not panic. Raise the alarm and isolate the fire if possible. Keep low if the air is smoky or smells of fumes. Only attempt to fight a fire if it is safe to do so and the fire is small. You must choose the correct fire extinguisher and follow the pass code. Follow the directions of fire marshals during an emergency. During an evacuation, remain calm and move straight to the designated safe assembly area. Be prepared for a fire in your building. You must know evacuation procedures and the locations of fire exits, alarms, and extinguishers. Your life could depend on it.